gosh. You're not getting a meditation today, everyone. First of all, I'm drinking coffee and I'm running late. And it's been one of those mornings, but let me introduce myself really quick because we are going to have a conversation. My name is Rebekah Borucki. I am a mother of 5, a meditation guide, and I write books. I write books for big people and little people. And right now I'm giving away 3 of them, the digital versions of 3 of them for free. So you can go in my video description and grab those links. The children's book also comes in Spanish. So you can grab that. And there's lots of goodies and coloring pages and all that good stuff. Yeah, I wish Obama was here. And for those of you who are averse to politics, you're going to get that here. Because I think that politics and how we vote and our leaders that we choose reflect our moral values, our core values. So it's really important. Good morning, Carol. And we are going to meditate on a thought, but it's going to be an active meditation, meaning that it's a conversation. So we're going to be discussing an idea today, which is exactly what you do in meditation when you close your eyes, when you get quiet, when you follow your breath. You are contemplating a thought, a feeling, an idea, and you're just doing it quietly and more so on your own. But today we're going to be doing it together, and I really want your feedback. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Is your last name Garcia? It's a beautiful last name. And hey, Shayna. So I wrote something today on my Instagram that I wanted to share. I'm having one of those days. Woke up. 2 of my children were arguing. That's what woke me up. So I had to kind of referee that unsuccessfully because, you know, I don't always have the answers. I'm not always the best at stuff. I'm often not the best at stuff. But I started thinking about how this isolation is affecting me and how I'm feeling. And then I went scrolling through Instagram after my missed morning prayers and my missed morning meditation because I woke up to that and went right into my day. And I saw a post by Kristen St. Cat, who I adore, on Instagram. So you go to my Instagram at BEXLIFE, BEXLIFE, and you'll see one of my latest posts if you're watching this, you know, on or around March 31st. And there was a post by Kristen St. Cat, who is an Instagrammer that I adore. I buy a lot of her products. She's really snarky and funny and poignant, irreverent. I just love her. And it said, I miss my fucking friends. And it was this big yellow graphic with, oh, if there's little kids in the room, scoot them out, with a rainbow. And yeah, it just says, I miss my fucking friends. And that's exactly how I feel right now. And, you know, I went into this kind of 3-minute woe is me hole. And going back and forth, you know, vacillating between, you know, I'm a person who wants to be of service. I want to be cognizant, aware of everything that's going on in the world. And I also want to be someone who cares for myself and practices self-love and really nurtures and nourishes my own soul on a daily basis. And how do you balance that with caring so much about the world? So this is what I wrote. Early, not so early in the morning, but I was up all night. So it was early for me because I was trying to get some rest. I'm grateful that I'm safe at home. And does anyone remember the 1-word affirmation? It works here too. I'm grateful that it works in reverse. I'm grateful that I'm safe at home, and I miss long afternoons in Barnes & Noble, putting myself in debt on children's books and novels I'll never read. I'm lucky to have a refrigerator full of food, and I miss hitting up Dunkin' Donuts for frozen hot chocolates and coffee rolls on the way to drop off my 16-year-old at school. I'm blessed with shelf after shelf stuffed with board games to play and arts and crafts to do with my littles, and I miss Dungeons and Dragons with my nerd crew. Any Dungeons and Dragons fans out there, D&D players? Hit me up. And tell me what character you are. I'm a tiefling, mage. I'm chaotic good, of course. You could probably guess that, not different than real life. I'm privileged to have a big enough house and lots of land, and I miss overnights in tiny hotel rooms with my besties where I stay up too late talking at them while they try desperately to annoy me, or ignore me. Not annoy me, I annoy them. Ignore me. I'm hurting for the world, and I'm feeling a lot of my own feelings right now that truly aren't that tragic at all, but are making my heart heavy just the same. I have the good fortune of being an inexhaustible, highly sensitive extrovert creative with my faith deeply rooted in my creator and my mission held in grace. So I'm up every day, ready to hit these internet streets, doing what I can to make the world at least a little bit better for the collective, but mostly for those pushed to the margins of it, right? And I miss my fucking friends. And so this is a tricky topic because, and this is something that I want to discuss with you, and I really do want your feedback on, because I see a lot of people that hold a certain level of privilege. I among them, right? I hold a lot of privilege in this world as a, white presenting, sometimes white passing, biracial woman who enjoys a lot of different financial status, privilege. So I put myself among them, but I see people who hold a lot of privilege having this discussion about, like, your feelings are valid and you're allowed to feel bad right now. And, like, everybody's suffering and we're all in this together. And I don't know if I hold that to be an ultimate truth, because while everyone is certainly inconvenienced by this, like, there's some people who are not affected at all, really. There's some people who are not being affected at all. Financially, they don't care about leaving their mansions. They're all good. They have their health, they got their money, they got their resources. There are levels of suffering. It doesn't need to be one pitted against the other, but there has to be an awareness there. There has to be a consciousness that yes, I have stuff going on. Yes, I'm inconvenienced. Yes, this thing sucks for me right now. And there are these people that are really hurting in a very specific way. And how may I use my resources, my time, talent, my treasure, whatever it is, to help ease their suffering? Like, we have to have an awareness of our privilege at the same time as whatever complaints or grievances we have. So while they are valid, it is not a time to wallow. It's not a time to wallow. It's a time to acknowledge and keep moving. Like the African proverb that I referenced in a meditation a little while ago, when you pray, move your feet. So when you complain, also move your feet, right? Like a complaint or a worry is just like worshiping something bad, right? Like worshiping a bad outcome. So it's still kind of like a little prayer that you're putting out in the universe. So move your feet and do something about it, or ask for help about it. Especially if you're someone who holds a lot of privilege, even if you're someone that holds a little privilege, like spread that around. So what I do in meditation, and what I want you to use these meditations for, is that these are tiny little chunks of your day that offer you a respite from whatever chaos is going on, and a little bit of healing from whatever damage is being inflicted on you because of the chaos, so that you can recharge and move on with your day. It's not a time to wallow. It's actually a time to take all of that like grief, those complaints, those grievances, and kind of like pack them into a time where you can sit with them and honor them, pay attention to them, see yourself and say, hey, yeah, I see you. You deserve this attention. And now that you got it, let's move on and do something about it. Let's move on and do some good. So I see this message going around, this narrative going around, especially in circles of privilege, especially in wellness right now, where the people at the top hold the highest levels of privilege in society too. Like, there's nothing different. Like racism, sexism, patriarchy, white supremacy, all of that lives in wellness too. And you need to recognize it. So when you're hearing these messages like, yes, you got to honor your pain, you got to honor this, you got to honor that, consider who it's coming from too. And then ask yourself, what are they doing then to take their pain and turn it into something that can help others? Their privilege or whatever allows them to take that time to be with themselves, to take that money to go to the spa, or like have like some kind of home treatment, or buy those products, or eat that good food. Like, how are they spreading that around? And I want you to then consider where the message is coming from, and then look at what you're feeling too. Consider where it's coming from for you, and then do something with it. So today isn't a meditation where we sit down and we get quiet and we think about what's going on in our heads. This is a conversation, a meditation on what's going on in the world, and how we can honor our stuff and at the same time be very conscious, aware, and proactive about all of the bigger stuff that's going on around us. Because I guarantee if you're sitting right here on this broadcast and we're having this conversation on whatever expensive device that you're holding, you hold at least a little bit of privilege. And whether it's your time, your energy, your talent, your treasure, your finances, whatever it is, you have something to share. You have something to share. The least among us have something to share. And too often, and what I'm seeing again in this time, is that the least among us, and when I mean the least among us, I don't mean like the lowest. I mean the people who have the least privilege, money, time, resources are giving the most. I want you to really pay attention with your eyes open and look out in the world. Look at your Instagram, people that you follow, and see who's really giving of themselves, who's doing the work, who's giving the messages that not only heal individuals, but heal the collective. Like, who's doing that? That's all I got to say for today. Just because I'm drinking coffee, my kids are getting on my nerves. I miss my fucking friends. And I gave myself that space to grieve. I gave myself space to grieve because my grief is valid, but I'm also cultivating and bringing up an awareness of how my stuff isn't that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal, not on the grand scale. And it's manageable, which is the bigger thing. I'm not dismissing my feelings or diminishing my worthiness when it comes to seeing myself, but I'm also being very aware of where that falls on the scale of big deals, right? So, and I want to invite you to do that too, because I love you. And I know that all of you have so much talent and so much creativity and so much to give to the world. I mean, some of you probably don't. I don't know. But if you're in my crew, you're one of those people. And I want to acknowledge that and acknowledge your ability to make change in the world. Like, join me in doing that. I'm just doing a little bit. I'm not doing a whole lot. But if we all did a little bit, no problems would exist. If we all just gave a little bit, there would be no lack. We all just have to give a little bit. Think about that. Now, there's a lot of people not giving any at all. So that means we just have to give a little bit more. So take that little bit that you could give and double it today. 2 times, right? And then we got those other people covered. Thank you for showing up for me and yourself. It compels and inspires me to show up for you and myself. I say it 3 times because gotta get that sunk in to our thick skulls because we don't believe it all the time. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. So I say it 3 times. I love you, I love you, I love you. Rebekah Hammer says, I needed this today. You needed reflection. Thank you. Hello, Wasfa. We all need it. Sometimes we all need to just have somebody grab us and be like, I see you, but get over yourself. Do something about it, right? And that's fine too. That's loving too. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. I promise there'll be a meditation. Hello, Morocco. Hello.